The blessed Holy Qur'an, the glorious Holy Qur'an, it is a miracle from different aspects. And yesterday we were considering and contemplating upon the fact that this Qur'an is a challenge to the disbelievers in a number of ways. Allah wa Ta'ala states in Surah Al-Hijr, verse 09, Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. Verily, it is we who have revealed this Quran, and verily we are its guardian. So in this blessed sacred Quranic verse, Allah wa Ta'ala confirms two things. The first being that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who revealed this Quran, who sent down this Quran. And secondly, that Allah wa ta'ala himself is the protector and the guardian of this divine book. So Allah wa ta'ala has promised to mankind in this blessed book that He is the guardian and protector of this divine book. He is the one who safeguards it from all aspects. So the Holy Quran, my friends, the sacred Quran expressly claims that it is not a word of someone else, but it is indeed the word of the Almighty Allah, and nothing whatsoever can be added or subtracted. Nothing can be added or subtracted from this divine book. And this is a claim and an open challenge of the Holy Quran. Now it is also noteworthy that 14 centuries have already elapsed. 14 centuries have already passed since this challenge of the Holy Quran, that nothing can be added or subtracted from this divine book. Yet this challenge of the Holy Quran remains unchallenged even after a period of 14 centuries, a significant period to take account of. Now, this is therefore yet another miracle of this divine book of Allah wa Ta'ala, the glorious Quran, that the challenge that the 1400 centuries ago, which was put forward by Allah wa Ta'ala in the form of the Quran, that nothing can be added or subtracted from it, it has still remained unchallenged. This is yet another miracle of the glorious book. Now, another characteristic reflecting yet another miracle of the Holy Quran is in regards to its numerous and plethora and multitude of predictions that the Holy Quran recorded in it 1400 years back, and those predictions which came out to be true as time passed by. This was again a reiteration and an evidence and testimony and proof which suggested that the glorious Quran is indeed the word of Allah wa Ta'ala. Now, as was mentioned yesterday, that Allah wa Ta'ala declared to the polytheists and the hypocrites, the mushrikeen and the munafiqeen in the Holy Quran, that if this divine book is a made up work, then why don't you bring a similar book, the like of the Holy Quran? But this challenge again remained unchallenged, uncontested. They were not able to bring a book the like of the Holy Quran. Then the next verse came at another instance in which Allah wa Ta'ala stated that if not that, then at least try bringing 10 chapters, 10 surahs the like of it. But they were not able to do that as well. Then the next challenge came, then try bringing just one chapter the like of it. Again the answer was certain, they weren't able to bring that. And then the next challenge came in the form of another verse of the Holy Quran. Then The other challenge was that if not even a single chapter can you bring, then try bringing just one statement, one single statement, the like of the statements contained in the blessed book, the Holy Qur'an. But again, the polytheists and the hypocrites, the mushrikeen and the munafiqeen, they were not able to respond to this challenge in an adequate manner. And hence, this challenge has, even after a period of 1400 years, remained uncontested. Now, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 94, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَتْ لَكُمُ الدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ خَالِصَةً مِنْ دُونِ النَّاسِ فَتَمَنَّوُا الْمَوْتَ إِنْ كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Say you, if the last abode with Allah is reserved for you to the exclusion of the people, then wish for death if you are truthful. وَلَنْ يَتَمَنَّوْهُ أَبَدًا بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِالظَّالِمِينَ. And they will never wish for death. And they will never wish for death because of their evil deeds which they have done before. And Allah is all aware of the wrongdoers. Now, what is Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala stating in this blessed verse? The admirable and the noteworthy point here is that, that Allah Ta'ala had already predicted in the Holy Quran 1400 years back through this Quranic verse that if they are truthful, and if they are truthful, then desire for death. If you are truthful, then desire for death, but they will not desire so. Why? Because they are not of the truthful ones. Now, it is noteworthy that the Holy Quran predicts that the disbelievers, the Christians, will never desire death. Since Christians were against the Holy Quran when the Quran was revealed and they were in denial of it, they denied it completely, and then they accused, God forbid, Nauzubillah, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, that this Quran was a made up work. Then an easy way for the Christians was for the disbelievers to prove the Quran as a false work, as a lie, was simply to desire for death. Because Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran that they will never desire for death. Now, this was an easy solution. They could have desired for death, and then went to the court of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and they could have said that, see, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Quran that we will never desire for death, and here we are desiring for death. Therefore, the Quran is a lie. They could have established that. They could have easily established that. But they did not. And why did they not? Because the Holy Quran had presented yet again a challenge to them. And therefore, they weren't able to prove that the Holy Quran was a made up work. Their claim was hence proven false yet again, because what did Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala state in the blessed verse of the Holy Quran? That they will never desire death. And that is what happened. They never desired for death. And if they had this option to establish that the Quran was a false word, and by way of that they could have made it sure by going to the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and saying that, see, the Quran says in this verse that they will never desire for death, and here we are desiring for it. Hence, the Quran has been proven false. But they did not. And a period of 1400 years has already elapsed again since this challenge. Therefore, this is again a testimony and a proof that highlights that the Qur'an is indeed the word of the Almighty Allah. Now there is another prediction establishes that the Qur'an is indeed the word of Allah. Now if we refer to Surah Al-Baqarah verse 142, where Allah Ta'ala states, سَيَقُولُ السُّفَهَاءُ مِنَ النَّاسِ مَا وَلَّاهُمْ عَنْ قِبْلَتِهِمُ الَّتِي كَانُوا عَلَيْهَا. Now the foolish will say, who has turned them, the Muslims, who has turned them away from the Qibla which they used to face. When the Qibla direction was changed, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, the beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, was offering the Zohar prayers while facing towards the Baitul Muqaddas, the Masjid al-Aqsa. And in that moment, he raised his blessed face towards the sky. The beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, he was offering the Zohar prayers when he raised his blessed face, his radiant face, his illuminated face towards the sky, and he had this wish and desire in his blessed heart that may the Qibla direction be changed, because these disbelievers, these Jews, taunt and provoke my people, my blessed companions, by saying that you Muslims oppose us in everything, but still you use our Qibla. Why is it the case that you Muslims oppose us in everything and still the Qibla that you use is ours? They used to say this statement. However, it is also noteworthy that the Qibla was not theirs. It was Allah wa Ta'ala's. How could it be the Qibla of the Jews? Or how could it be the Qibla of the Muslims or the Christians? Or whatever religion there is. The Qibla is of Allah wa Ta'ala. He made it for us to, as a direction. He appointed that place as a direction for us to worship. Now if one contemplates upon this blessed Quranic verse, he will realize that the Holy Qur'an predicted about the Jews that they will object on the change of the Qibla direction. The Qur'an predicted many years ago about the Jews that they will oppose the change of the Qibla direction. Now the matter to note is that the Jews denied Islam, and since the Jews were also in denial, they also denied Islam and the sacred book as well. Had they been sensible, they would not have objected on this change of Qibla direction, and instead would have come to the blessed presence, to the court of the beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, and said that, see, that Quran is now proven a lie, na'uzubillah, because we did not object to the Qibla direction, while the Quran says that we will object. So there was an easy solution presented to the Jews now, that Allah wa Ta'ala stated that they will in time object to the change in direction of the Qibla. Now the Jews had an easy solution. They had an easy solution to prove the Quran as a false word. They could have come to the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and said that, see, the Quran says on one hand that we will object to the change in Qibla direction, but here we are not objecting to the change in Qibla direction. Therefore this confirms that the Quran is na'uzubillah a false word. So they could have easily established that, but the point to note is they were not able to do so. Since we did not object, they could have said that therefore the Quran is a false word, but they did object. They did put forward the opposition, and they did oppose the change in Qibla direction, as the Quran had already predicted few years ago. So this is yet again a prediction of the Holy Quran, which confirms that the Holy Quran is indeed the word of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. So Allah Ta'ala did state in the Holy Qur'an that they, the Jews, the disbelievers, they will object. Now, did they object to the Qibla direction, the change in Qibla direction or not? They did. The answer to that is in the affirmative. So this is yet again a testimony and an evidence that confirms that the Holy Qur'an is indeed the word of the Almighty Allah. Now a third prediction of the Holy Qur'an again confirms that the Holy Qur'an is indeed the word of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in Surah Al-Maidah verse 43, وَكَيْفَ يُحَكِّمُونَكَ وَعِنْدَهُمُ التَّوْرَاةُ فِيهَا حُكْمُ اللَّهِ. And how will they accept you, O Prophet, O Muhammad, peace be upon him? And how will they accept you as their judge, seeing they have the Torah, wherein is the judgment of Allah, wherein is the commandment of Allah. Now in this blessed verse, judgment or commandment refers to rajam, and rajam basically means stoning. That if a married person commits adultery, he will be stoned until death. Now that is what rajam is. That in this verse, the word judgment or the commandment refers to the act of rajam, which is stoning. That if a married person commits adultery, he will be stoned till death. Now the Holy Qur'an claimed that this commandment is also present in the Torah, in the other book. Now this is an established fact that whichever edition of Torah you select, you pick, you will find that changes have been made in that edition. From the previous edition, there are changes in the newer editions of the Torah, and this is an established fact. There is no dialogue on this, right? This is not contestable. It is agreed that the ratio, however, is contested. It may be contestable, but this is agreed on a general level that the Torah is not the same anymore. Changes have been made in that book of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Now, had those Christians wanted, they could have easily been able to establish, God forbid, Nauzubillah, that the Holy Qur'an was a false word. And how could they have been able to do so? To prove it, that the Qur'an was not the word of Allah, since over the passage of time they omitted many verses from the Torah. They could also have taken out this specific verse from the Torah as well, which related to the act of rajam, that is stoning. That if a married man commits adultery, he will be stoned till death. But they did not. They did not take out that verse from the Torah. Now, whereas Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala stated in the verse, وَكَيْفَ يُحَكِّمُونَكَ وَعِنْدَهُمُ التَّوْرَاةُ فِيهَا حُكْمُ اللَّهِ. And how will they accept you as their judge, seeing they have the Torah, wherein is the judgment of Allah. So they could have easily taken out this verse if they had taken out, since they had taken out other verses as well. They could have taken out this verse as well to prove that what the Quran says is wrong. There is no such verse in the Torah, but they did not over the passage of many years. Now this again confirms that the Holy Quran is indeed, and it is indeed and surely the word of the Almighty Allah. Now, by way of another prediction, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in Surah Yunus, verse 1092, Allah Tabarak states, فَالْيَوْمَ نُنَجِّيكَ بِبَدَنِكَ لِتَكُونَ لِمَنْ خَلْفَكَ آيَةً وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ عَنْ آيَاتِنَا لَغَافِلُونَ. So today we shall deliver you in your lifeless body, that you may be a sign to those after you. So in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran in Surah Yunus, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala stated, "So today we shall deliver you in your lifeless body, that you may be a sign to those after you." Now Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala is referring to the Pharaoh here. When Pharaoh drowned into the sea, then as per the law of the nature, the strong current of the sea and the strong waves should have and could have taken him somewhere far off. But the strong currents, the strong waves, they did not take Pharaoh somewhere far off. Secondly, the salty water of the sea, as per the law of nature again, should also have decomposed and rotten his body, but that did not happen so as well. And thirdly, there was also a significant chance that the sea animals could have eaten him up, but that also did not happen. So, as per the law of the nature, when Pharaoh drowned, the strong waves could have easily taken him somewhere far off. Secondly, as per the law of nature again, the salty sea water could have decomposed and rotten his body, but that did not happen as well. And thirdly, there was also a significant chance that the sea animals could have eaten up his body, but that did not happen as well. Now all three things did not happen. And why did it not happen? Because Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala promised in the Holy Quran and stated in the Holy Quran that today we shall deliver you in your body, that you may be a sign to those after you, a sign of warning to those after you. So Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala stated in the Holy Quran that He will preserve the body of Pharaoh as a sign of warning for people who will come after him, So this was again a prediction of the Holy Quran and a challenge. Now 1400 years have elapsed. A significant period has already passed, but the body still remains. The body of Pharaoh still remains. The reason why none of that happened is because Allah Ta'ala kept his body so the world could see the consequences of the person who claims to be God. The strong currents of the sea could have threw his body somewhere else, but it threw his body on a mound. And legend has it that this place is still present today, and it is called Jabal-e-Pharaoh. My spiritual guide and my teacher, Sayyidi Shaykh Ahmad Mohsin Munawar Yousafi, he states that when he went to Egypt, when he was on his tour and journey to Egypt, he went to this place and he saw this Jabal-e-Pharaoh, where the sea, the strong currents of the sea threw the body of Pharaoh. Now a substantial period of roughly 3260 years have already passed since the death of Pharaoh, but his body is still preserved in the Museum of Cairo in Egypt. Now my spiritual guide Sayyidi Shaykh Ahmad Mohsin Mohsini, he was telling us that he has also been to this museum, and he went to this museum to see the body of Pharaoh, and it is indeed a sign of warning for others. So now the point to note here again is that the Jews and the Christians and hence the disbelievers also ruled over this land of Egypt over a period of many years, for a significant period of in these 3000 years. So they got to rule over these lands. The Jews and Christians both got to rule over these lands. Now was it not convenient and easy for them that while at the time of their rule over Egypt, that in order to prove the divine book, the blessed Qur'an, as wrong, they hid or destroyed the body of Pharaoh? in order to prove the Quran as false, they could have easily done so. But again, they did not. But they were simply not able to do so, because this is yet again a miracle of the Holy Quran and a challenge, because Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran that He has kept His body safe as a sign for others to see. Now when He has promised that He will keep His body preserved, then whatsoever may happen, His body will remain and it will not perish. So this is yet again a further confirmation and a reflection of the fact that the Quran is indeed the word of Allah, and the predictions highlighted in the Holy Quran, the predictions of the Holy Quran, they are true in nature, and as time passed by, they came out to be true as well. Therefore, the blessed Quran is indeed, and it is indeed, the word of the Almighty Allah, which was revealed upon the beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, and Hazrat Archangel Jibraeel alayhi salam brought it down upon the beloved Prophet, peace be upon him. To access the same lecture in Urdu, please click on the link available below in the description.